Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Living the Empowered Life. I'm Kim Louise, your host, and today I have with us Michelle ALVA. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us today. It's really awesome to have you with us.
Thank you, Kim, and I'm so happy to be a part of this Empowerment Summit. What a great topic.
Awesome. So for anyone who hasn't met you, Michelle, I'm just going to tell them a little bit about you from your bio. So Michelle is a women's health physical therapist, a Tantra practitioner, an NLP practitioner, emotional release body worker, and intuitive sound healer. And she's created an approach that unless modern science, that unites modern science with ancient wisdom, called the ALVA Method of self-empowered healing. So Michelle, that's pretty empowering in itself, just in the bio. So I want to jump right in and have you tell us first a little bit about you.
Sure. The reason why I do what I do today is because I was a very disempowered woman, losing my virginity at age 14, having had sexual trauma, sexual experience. The very first sexual experience was very traumatic for me. And I didn't say, stop, get off me. I didn't speak. I was not empowered as a young teenage girl, and I didn't even know that the way that I feel causes things to come into my life. So I was much more of a victim mentality raised girl, raised Latin, thinking that the man is the one that's supposed to take care of me, and I just didn't have legs when I was young, and that caused me to have a lot of pain. Literally, I had physical pain in my vagina, in my cervical area, and I had a lot of shame and guilt, and I judged myself a lot. I was very hard on myself. So because of all the different ways that I related with myself, I created a lot of tension in my body. And becoming a physical therapist when I was 22 years old, who already practiced yoga, I had a very holistic, integrative way of believing about myself, but it wasn't embodied. It was in my mind. So I learned yoga. I read a lot of books about spirituality. So from the neck up, I was spiritual, supposedly, but my vagina was still holding on to a lot of shame and guilt and pain and trauma. And basically, I see out there in the world that there's a lot of fragmented healing approaches where the physical therapist works on the body, the psychotherapist works on the mind, the energy healer works on the chakra system. We focus on different parts of the person. And I felt that there's a need to have an integrative approach where we're working on all of the person at once. So today, that's why I've created what I've created. The ALVA Method is about teaching people how to change their beliefs and their mindset in their body live at the same time, while they're learning how to process and release the woundedness, the traumas, the memories, and the tissues, and learning how to connect to their breath, to their intuition, to their higher knowing sense. And pretty much it's amazing. I mean, people clear chronic pain from a 9 out of 10 to 0 in one session. And we could do this over the phone. And really, my intuition has guided me. My listening to the wisdom of my essence of why I'm here has helped me propel forward in the way that I'm sharing now with the world. And I couldn't have done all this without God, source, creator, spirit, intuition, higher guidance, whatever name you want to call that wisdom inside us. So pretty much that's what I'm all about. And I live and breathe what I teach. And I'm 45 years old and I feel very light and refreshed compared to how I was when I was 35 years old, weighed down, contracted, and dense and non-orgasmic, to today, whole body orgasmic and just really feeling juicy and alive, being myself without having to do something more. So the sense of fulfillment that I feel in my body and my soul, in my essence, it really is a gift to me today to be here now with you and sharing in the state of beingness that I am. That is what I've been really seeking my whole entire life.
That's awesome. So how did you even get the awareness that you were living from the neck up? Was it because of the yoga that you were doing, or like how did you even, how were you even aware of that?
I think as things crumbled in my life, like my relationships, I was very naggy with my ex-husband. I was never happy. I was never satisfied. I took so many courses as a physical therapist. I did a shaman training. I did, every certification. I was always on the go, and I didn't have this sense of fulfillment, this sense of joy in myself. And I would blame everybody for everything, point the finger. And I think something inside me, I was miserable. By the time I was 37, I had a divorce. And basically what I really wanted a divorce was who I was. My ex-husband was just a mirror of where I was at. And I couldn't divorce myself though. So let me divorce him. And so I think from the isolation, I basically was alone. I have a daughter, but I had to really sit with myself. And I would go to the sauna actually and cry. And I just had this catharsis of, oh my God, I don't like myself. I don't like who I am. And this, I guess, from the relationship not working, I had no other choice, but I wanted to heal. What is it? How come I can't receive love? I don't feel lovable. So that's basically my life crumbling at age 37 is how I discovered myself. And holding on to that chronic pain for 14 years of my life in my vagina, that was a quick wake-up call too, because I used to think sex was painful. That's a separate story. From 14 to 28, I was holding chronic pain in my pelvis, and I thought sex was painful. And I had at 28 years old a release of, I guess they call it Kundalini energy, the Shakti energy, this feeling of tingling down my legs. And I had the trauma also release at the same time of that, what happened to me when I was 14. And that made me realize, wait a minute, we're not just physical, we're holding memories in our tissues. And I felt it, and I had this tingling sensation. And so I started realizing we're energy. We're at 28 years old, practicing yoga, being a PT, working with people. I started noticing the feeling of different, and how so many people really do have emotional pain that manifests as chronic pain. And that intuitive curiosity, I thought, well, we're not really working with people the way that we are. Because if we go to a person for pain, they're only really looking at the physical pain a lot of times.
Yeah.
And saying, well, tell me about your emotional pain. Where do you feel it? It's just, where's your physical pain? That's the things I can measure, I can see, I can touch. So today, 90% I would say of my clients are coming in with baggage from the past, which I say we turn it into fertilizer to grow. So we look at the pain as actually an opportunity to get deeply connected with all of who we are. Because usually people aren't saying, I love my pain. I'm so grateful for my pain. It's taught me to be more compassionate. It's taught me to really slow down. It's taught me to listen to my body. So today I spend time really guiding people inside to have a different relationship with their bodies. And I feel that's what's been missing for a lot of us, to just look at ourselves differently.
Yeah. And is it always people with physical pain as well, or is it just they know they're stuck somehow and they're coming to you for that?
It's both. People come to me for all different reasons, and a lot of them come because their relative saw me. There's a lot of word of mouth, or when I work with one person, as I'm working with them, they're thinking, oh my God, you need to work with my sister. Oh my God, my nanny has neck pain. So it's really amazing how as the person is releasing and healing and feeling good, they're already thinking of somebody else. Yeah, and I make a lot of videos. I post a lot. I share a lot. I want to change what people think is possible, because for so many years I felt stuck. I felt aged. At 35 years old, I felt older. And today, I mean, I feel like I'm 28 and I feel very alive. And I don't mind being with myself the way that I used to run away from myself. I used to be very busy and I wanted to always be go, go, go. And today I literally lean back and I just be, and it feels good to be,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. So I don't feel I have to do more to be
Mm-hmm.
happy. I can just,
Yeah. I think for so many of us, maybe I'm the only one on here, I'll just speak for myself, is I've spent my whole life being super busy. And I think so many of us, that's how we live our lives. We go from, we're doers, not beers. And we go from one thing to the other, to the other, to the other. And we don't slow down and take that time to be present with ourselves.
yeah, I think you're right. And that's probably why heart disease is very high, and cancer and all these top diseases in our culture, in our country, especially. Sleep is a very hard thing for people. Digesting food is difficult for people, and having orgasms are difficult for people. And all of those don't require speed. They can't be rushed, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So it just to me sounds like an overarching disconnection from our body, a combination of disconnection from our bodies and is it a lot of not healing past trauma?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us have had a lot of trauma as children. And when I say the word trauma, you might be sitting there thinking, I had a great childhood. But if your mom, let's just say, was not very happy with in her marriage, let's just say, and then she wears the mask and she acts like everything's okay, I think a lot of times we don't even realize how traumatic it is for our mother to be secretly depressed, not really happy with daddy, and it makes us feel off. And as children, we absorb so much what we see. And then we wonder, what's missing? What is it? What's wrong with me? So this work is about going back inside to your diaphragm and really starting here at your center and just being centered with yourself. Because we also pick up stuff from our parents, from our families, from when our mom was pregnant with us, from past lives. I mean, that's a whole other story
Huge.
that I didn't even know about. It's so amazing. So that's why it's important to sit with our shit, as I say,
Yeah.
because you can turn that into fertilizer to grow, because that's what nature does. And I like to say that the shit stands for strengthen, heal, imagine something new, and thrive. So whatever baggage, suffering, trauma you've had, whether you know it or not, that it's happening to build your character and to make you stronger and to make your life more fulfilling. And I really love Oprah Winfrey, because she definitely has turned all her shit to fertilizer in her life. And how many of us look at it like that, look at everything, the traumas as blessings. So that's what I've done, is really capitalized on whatever people come in with. We're going to look at it as an opportunity to grow and to heal and to create more intimacy with ourselves, into me, see. And we don't have to be ashamed of anything. And that's why I put a lot of videos out there about my past and my shortcomings, because we're not alone, we're all one, and we're all mirrors of each other. And the more people share and open up, we're giving each other permission that we can be imperfect, and we can have shame that we've been holding. And actually, we don't even have to hold the shame. We can just heal. And I'm really passionate about that. I don't know if you noticed from my freedom experiencing in my body. That's my wish, and that's why I need to take breaks and go to the beach. And I live in Key Biscayne, and I just cross the street, and I go to the beach, and it's my time to reset myself, because that's something I work on, is giving back to myself. And remembering that nothing can really work if I'm running on empty.
Wow.
I hear a lot. That's why I'm pausing. I'm like,
and how many people do that? Like, take the time to, and I'll admit, I'm my own worst enemy. It's like, okay, what's next? What's next? I'll admit I can be a horrible doer. I am not a great beer. And I know up here I should.
well, that's where I talk a lot about Tantra. That's where the Tantra work is all about slowing down and pleasuring yourself. And when I say pleasure yourself, people sometimes immediately think of sex, which Tantra is not just about sex. But for example, you can pleasure yourself when you just get out of the shower, you pleasure your temporal muscles here, pleasure your cheeks. A lot of people hold tension in the jaw. And so when we're talking about empowerment, if I'm contracted in my whole body, I'm going to be more dense. I'm going to be more physical. When in reality, you're 99.99999% made of energy. So the more you expand, the more you're going to feel empowered. So I invite everybody to make time to open up your jaw, take deep breaths in your day, expand your body. If you want to feel more empowered, check in with yourself. How expanded do I feel? Or am I a contracted, tensed up person right now? And remember, you can change right away. All you have to do is shift your posture. Take deep breaths, stretch yourself, and so you can come back into alignment with your powerful creator self, being in the present moment by touching yourself, and touching yourself in a way that feels good, that'll entice you to come back into the moment rather than being up in our heads. And be grateful for it, because it's an opportunity to strengthen your ability to get empowered. So being powerful is being in the moment. When we talk about empowerment, for me, it's how in the moment, presently, am I throughout my day? And the more we are in the present and flowing with our day, the more we are able to actually attract quicker into our lives, whatever it is that we're aligned with. But if I'm thinking and doing and going and I'm not grounded, I'm going to actually be more chaotic and attract more chaos into my life. So it is important, if you want to live from a place of more flow and empowerment, to take deep breaths and make time to be here now. And come back to now as often as possible. Like when you go pee-pee, I literally teach my clients, every time you sit on the toilet, women, we are lucky that we could just sit down. And I literally do this in the toilet. I sit. This is like precious, because we're all going to go to the bathroom today a couple times. So when I'm in the bathroom, I turn my palms up on my lap and I do this. I take a deep breath. I'm peeing, right? And I literally ask myself, what am I grateful for? So when I need to go to the bathroom, I'm walking to the toilet, whether it's at the movies, whether I'm at Target, or, maybe I'm at an appointment. And as I walk to the bathroom, I'm already thinking, what am I grateful for? When I sit on the toilet, I'm going to look up and I'm going to choose to be grateful for something. And sometimes I'm just grateful for my breath, and then I'm peeing.
Your bladder works.
So this is just one of the little activities that I teach my clients, because Lord knows we have enough exercises to do in the day. Can I just incorporate it into my pee-pee time, into my driving time? When we're driving, there's another little tip that you could, at every red light, you have to stop, right? At every red light. So you can literally, red means love, and you could just ask yourself, what do I love about myself? What am I grateful for about myself? And you can breathe that in. So as you're sitting at a red light, you're resetting your whole nervous system every red light. Isn't that awesome?
It is.
I like these exercises. That's how I keep myself in a world where you can focus a lot on the chaos and what's not serving us, and then it becomes more real. So reset at the red lights, reset when you go to the bathroom, and trust me, it's a Control-Alt-Delete on your nervous system. So that when we're going to pick up our child, let's just say after work, school, we've hit maybe 3 red lights and we're already like, I love you, how was your day? It just resets us into more of a love vibration. And then our children will feel that, and they're going to be more like that, because they're really sponges of whatever we are as parents. I have a 14-year-old, so I know how it is.
Absolutely. What I loved about these examples that you showed is your joy in showing them. And also anybody who says that they don't have time to do this, it's crap.
It's true.
Because, not to use that word, okay, now I went visual. But seriously, I mean, you do go to the bathroom several times a day. There is no excuse for not doing this.
That's what I've learned the most valuable.
And even for men, they can sit down if they really want to.
Yeah. And really is, how do I bring myself into my mundane activities? How do I bring myself to washing a dish? How do I bring myself to taking a shower? And I bring myself as a goddess. I bring myself into my bed at night as a goddess, laying on her goddess bed temple. And I bring myself into my clients, working with them as a rapid healing activator. That's what I call myself, rapid healing activator. And my clients become rapid healing activators. So because of what I've learned from neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, and CK, this biology of beliefs, I've studied a lot with Dr. Joe Dispenza and Dr. Bruce Lipton, biology of belief. These are amazing Greg Braden teachers that really made me aware of how every thought can take me more to relax or to stress myself out. And today I'm much more aware of my thoughts, how I'm deliberately thinking and creating. And then the things that I'm like, how did I do that? You know, the things that I'm not deliberately creating, that I'm unconscious about, I'm more aware now. Wow, you know, that's feedback for me. Because like I've been attracting men that are not 100% committed and available, and doing the soul work. And I have love coaches, and basically there was a part of myself that I wasn't committing and being available for in myself, that I have had to really dig deeper. And it was all old stuff about my father that was still hooking me in. And I do this work, but there was my own blind spot. So I made that my mission these past couple months, to really polish up my blind spot, and at the same time be grateful for my blind spot, because I probably would have never focused on creating a healing approach if I had an amazing lover that was hogging up all my time. You know what I mean? A committed partner. Because when I love, I'm so like whatever I do, I get really focused on it, and that's what came up was you needed to create this approach to serve people, and that's what's been your focus, you know, for a long time in these past years. Since my divorce of 7 years ago, I've been on this mission of really understanding what was my gift in the suffering, how can I turn my shit into fertilizer, and then of course share simple, rapid ways to clear and process. And I feel ready right now. It's really special that I'm on this interview, because I'm feeling this sense of I'm ready to date and meet someone more committed, because I've gotten all this stuff out of the way. Because before I thought I had to master my business and then I could focus on the love and the romance. But my love coaches said to me, Michelle, you're thinking small. Why don't you believe you can have it all? Are you willing to believe you can have it all? You could do the dating, you could do the business, be a great mom for your daughter, be there for yourself. And I was like, oh my God, I want to believe that. But I obviously haven't, or else I would have attracted that, you see? So then I don't have to be so hard on myself. I can just start to say, well, what would that feel like to balance it all? And I'm sure a lot of people go through that too, that you separate.
Yes, that's what was popping for me, is what a beautiful message. That you sharing this is such a beautiful message for everybody watching this.
So if we want to be more empowered women, we can believe that we are so powerful that we can balance all of our lives. And it's just a belief. It's just one belief away. And what if your man actually could augment your business? What if he actually inspires you to come up with some new juicy information? Somebody actually said that to me. She said to me, well, Michelle, why don't you believe that your guy is actually going to make your job easier? And I was like, I want to believe that too, you know? So angels have come into my life in the form of friends that have said, what is this paranoia you have about men that it's got to take up your time and be like, And I don't want to feel that way about a man. I want to feel inspired by a man, my relationship. the man that I choose to be with, he's going to actually help me create more time. Wow, what a concept, right? As I'm saying that, I'm like, this is all new for me.
And what if everything we ask for our lives contributes to us? Like everything can contribute to the whole.
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
you see, as you say that, what comes up for me is when we have, let's just say, like I have a client who had cancer, okay? And she said to me, Michelle, the doctor is only focused on my breasts because she has the tumors there. The psychotherapist is only interested in my emotions. And you, she said to me, I feel like you saw me. You saw my soul. You saw all of who I am. And so I just had this realization, I myself too may have fallen to looking at things as parts. Remember how in the beginning of the interview, I was talking about how the energy looks at the energy. So there's a part of me that has been looking at the business here, the boyfriend here, the mommy, here. And here I am talking about integrating all of who we are. Mm-hmm. And yet look what I'm doing in my own life is I'm practicing integrating all of who I am in my whole life, right? As the mom, the girlfriend, the business entrepreneur. And I wonder how many people, I would love to hear from the people that hear this interview. Do you resonate with this? Because I'm realizing it right now in the interview that we don't have to separate all of our parts.
I know that I've been as you've been discussing that, I've been like, bingo, 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 like, oh crap, look at all the places where I do that.
And to think better of ourselves, if we're really going to believe that we're empowered women, empowered men, that of course I can integrate all of my life. So thank you for me being on your interview today, because this is a gem for myself. And we're always doing things, not just for others, but we all benefit. So everybody, let's just empowered. We can do this, all of it. We can have it all, and we can integrate all of who we are, and we can balance our lives out perfectly. And I wish that for everybody on this interview and in the summit. So thank you, Kim.
Yay! Now, before I let you go, I want you to tell us about your free gift.
Yes, so
there's a link on the page for it, by the way.
MichelleAlva.com, and the free gift is Empower Your Center and Ignite Your Soul's Joy. And it's a meditation that's going to teach you how to get really centered, literally in your physical body. But then you're going to also get centered with your energetic chakras, with your body. And then we're going to clear some beliefs, some limiting beliefs that might be getting in the way from you feeling integrated. Let me know how you like it. I'd love to get feedback on that.
Yay, that's awesome.
Thank you.
This has been so much fun. Do you have any parting? I feel like you wrapped us up so beautifully before I made you come in and tell us about your gift. But do you have any parting words you'd love to add?
Yeah, I want everybody to remember that whatever you think about, you're making more real. So to really make time to ask yourself, what do I love? What do I really enjoy? What do I want to create? Every single day, ask yourself that, because we're creating so much more than what we realize. So if there's a person that says, for example, my shoulder is so tense, my neck hurts, to keep saying that, you're actually perpetuating it. So I would invite you to say, what do I want to create? Neck pleasure, neck lightness, neck love, neck nurturing, and invite you to create something new, create more of what you really want to create, because that's what I didn't know that I was creating all along. And I'm very connected, I feel, to my angels and to God, to source. And this is the message that's coming through whenever I work with people, is remind them how powerful they are. So I'm so grateful for you, Kim, for even thinking about the Empowerment Summit, because you're right on the money with what I feel is the message that's coming through, that each one of us is a powerful co-creator, because we're all co-creating. And when I say that you're a powerful creator, honestly, I'm not creating anything. I'm actually just listening to the creator above all, which is, I'm a little piece of that. We were all created divinely. So it's really about listening more. And how do we do that? We lean back and we pause and we be, and that's where it all comes through much easier. So thanks. That's a lot.
Wow. No, the invitation to be, that's super important. Thank you so much, Michelle.
My pleasure, Kim. Thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone. Check out that meditation and let me know how I can serve. I also offer free 30-minute clarity calls. That's all on my website, all that information. So if anybody feels touched by this or wants to learn more about the work that I do and how I can serve you, I would love to spend 30 minutes with whoever reaches out, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank you. Have an awesome day.
Okay, everyone, that's a wrap for this one for Living the Empowered Life. Stay tuned for more, and we'll talk to you soon.